What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not close. These are our NFL divisional previews. We're talking NFC North, Vikings, Bears, Packers. Who else? Give me the fourth team. We're talking the Lions because, look, the Lions this year actually have numbers that we can work with. Now, the Packers are clearly the favorites to win the division at minus 170. The Vikings coming in at plus 250. But look at Detroit. They have a soft spot in my heart. I love Hard Knocks, and I love Dan Campbell. Let's bring in the stars of the show. Maestro, RJ White, they are here. And I'm going to start with you, RJ, and I'm going to start with Detroit. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the fact that the coaches get down in the dirt with the players, and you think they're going to have a good year.
Yeah, you're not the only one. Bettors have been hammering the over on Detroit. It's 6 wins. It's now up to minus 160. I don't think there's much value there, but I want to have a positive play on Detroit because I'm like you. I love this team. I love what Dan Campbell's doing. So I got a little bit wild. I took Detroit to make the playoffs at plus 450. They had a lot of bad luck during the early winless run last year. Played a lot of good teams closer than expected. They're against the spread, I believe, was 11-6, 11-12-5, somewhere around there. A better team than people thought they were. Team is strong in the trenches on both sides of the ball. That's how you build a winner. We saw that with Philly a lot of the time. They would build this offensive and defensive lines, and then they figure it out at the skill positions. And I think that elevates the play of the skill positions when you're strong on the offensive line, elevates the play of the secondary when you're strong on the defensive line. Dan Campbell's type of coach, I can get 100% out of his players, at all times. He's just a guy that you want to go out, you want to play your hardest for, and I think he's going to get maximum effort from his guys. I think the wild cards might be up for grabs. What if New Orleans, Philly, Minnesota, Arizona are all 7-8 win teams? I know we're probably a little bit high on Philly, probably high on Minnesota a little bit, but I mean, there's nothing given for any of those teams. And I think there's some space in the NFC for one of these teams to sneak in that nobody's talking about, like maybe a Giants in the NFC East or something wild like that. My team I'm putting my money on is the Detroit Lions at plus 450.
I love that number, plus 450. Now, here at the Early Edge, we talk all the time about educating and entertaining. There's so many different ways that if you want to find a play, maybe get an alternate line. A lot of books do a lot of different things, but you got to do the work. Now, with Chicago, there's alternate lines, and you found one.
Yeah, the over-under for Chicago was 6.5 wins. I was like, they're going to lose, they're going to win less than 6.5 games. They're going to win less than 5.5 games. They might challenge for the worst record in the NFL. Offense is a mess. The offensive line might start a 5th-round rookie at left tackle. They just signed 2 guys in July that they're going to start on the right side probably in Schofield and Riley Reif. The receiver core needs Mooney to be a top-tier receiver 1 because there's like nothing behind him. And, he's best fit as a complimentary receiver. I don't think he's going to go out and be like a top 5 receiver in the NFL or anything. Fields has all of the talent in the world, but now he has to learn another new offense in year 2. And you get a young player like that having to learn new offenses over and over. We see that destroy young quarterbacks in the past. I think he's facing an uphill battle. Now on the defensive side, Roquan Smith angling for a trade. If they trade him, you lose the heartbeat of that defense. Forget about the 6.5. Like I said, this team could be in the mix for the number 1 pick. So love taking under 5.5 wins at plus 140 because I think the disaster scenario is in play for Chicago. I don't think they're marginally going to hit their under at 6.5. That's why I wanted to take the alt line at under 5.5.
How do you not pay Roquan? How do you not make that a good situation? How does this happen? I don't know, but it's going to help us cash a ticket. I know that's right. Now, when you talk about the Bears, Maestro, I'm coming over to you. You also feel the same way as RJ, a little different, but a lot the same.
Yeah, I'm going to play the Bears 2 ways, both fading for sure. And it all goes back to the salary cap mess from Ryan Pace because this team has no money. I mean, Khalil Mack is gone. Akeem Hicks is gone. Eddie Goldman is gone. Bilal Nichols is gone. That's 4 defensive linemen gone. There's only 1 wide receiver of note. The worst offensive line in the league. I'm going to play him under 6.5 wins at minus 140, but I'm going to sprinkle 12-1 on the worst regular season record. That's how bad this roster is. If they just tie for that regular season worst record, we cash that ticket.
Oh, and I love that. Now, here's the interesting one. Green Bay, for the last several years, has been the class of this division. It's all about Aaron Rodgers. He's coming to the end of his career. He lost his favorite wide receiver. Because of that, Maestro, you think a different team in this division can sweep the board?
Yeah, I'm very high on the Vikings. I'm betting them 3 ways. I'm betting them over 9 wins. I'm betting them to win the division, and I'm betting them to make the playoffs. Like you said, Devontae Adams is gone. Green Bay could take a step back. Mike Zimmer's regime just went stale. He's a defensive-minded coach. Now you bring in Kevin O'Connell, a guru, an offensive guru under the Sean McVay tree with all the talent in the world to work with. When you talk about Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, and Irv Smith. I love this tight end. 5 touchdowns on only 30 catches last season. He is a true breakout candidate if he can stay healthy. And then on defense, you signed Zadarius Smith opposite Hunter in terms of now you have 2 great pass rushers. This team lost so many close games. They were stale. Remember that game against the Cowboys when Cooper Rush started and Mike Zimmer would not be aggressive and they didn't let Kirk Cousins throw the ball? Kevin O'Connell is pass first. And that's what wins in today's NFL.
Now, there's a little show that I am a star of called The First Cut. When it's plus 5,000 or higher in golf, we call that a sleeper. You have found a sleeper in this division for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Rashan Gary of the Green Bay Packers. He's a freak of an athlete at only age 24. 9.5 sacks last year, 2 more sacks in the playoff loss to San Francisco, but he had the second highest amount of pressures in the entire NFL. And I just think he's going to be playing every down because Zadarius Smith is gone. It's just him and Preston Smith. The Packers are going to be leading. He is going to be rushing the passer. And this guy, just all the metrics, he's just an athletic wonder. And I think this is the season that he gets to double-digit sacks, maybe 15 or 20 sacks. And I think Green Bay is going to be more of a defensive team this year. And if they are, he'll get a lot of the credit. He's down to 60-1. He was 100-1. People are betting on Rashan Gary, and I'm one of them.
Man, I would love nothing more to see you celebrate a plus 6,000. I see how you celebrate plus 110. What does a plus 6,000 look like with the Maestro? That's what I want to know. Let's take a quick look at the recap page, and it is thorough. Maestro, 2 Bears plays under 6.5 wins, then the worst regular season record at plus 1,200. Then Vikings, let's go 3, over 9 wins to win the division and to make the playoffs. Then a little sprinkle, Rashan Gary, Defensive Player of the Year, plus 6,000. Then RJ White, Bears alternate under. Many books have these alternate lines. 5.5 wins, plus 140. And then the Lions to make the playoffs. Could this please happen at plus 450? That is the NFC North, and this is the Early Edge. Good luck.